Hello again. Welcome to Silo. I've done a fair bit on breathing and some stuff on motivation, a bit on savings. I might get onto something a bit more juicy, a bit more positive. So, I absolutely recommend you get out of debt first before you start thinking about investing. And you probably need to get some savings, short-term savings under your belt as well. But for this post I just wanted to cover a very simple, easy investment strategy or investment philosophy, if you like. And if you're not that great when it comes to looking into the numbers, which is where I am kind of, and if you don't have huge amounts of time to be researching stocks and looking for ones that sit in the right point in the charts or all that kind of stuff, it makes no sense to me. I can't understand any of that kind of day trading stuff. But if you're looking for long-term good solid investments, then there's a very simple philosophy which I like to call buy your bills. And it basically just means you invest in the sorts of companies that you're paying money to already. So, for example, we all have electricity bills to pay, fuel bills perhaps, we all have food bills, phone bills, that kind of thing. And there are plenty of companies you can invest in that provide these services, and they've been providing them for a good long time, and they're heavily regulated, and they're good solid businesses that are usually quite well run. And although some of them might be subject to disruption in the near future with a lot of the various online revolutions and working from home type scenarios and clean energy and all that kind of thing, most of them are jumping onto it themselves as well. So provided you make sure you diversify a little bit, maybe have a couple of examples of each, if not more, then you should be in a good strong position and be well covered. So let's be specific, let's talk about food bills. In that scenario I'm talking about, you might think about investing in Morrison's, Tesco's, Sainsbury's, any of the big supermarkets, and they pay out a nice regular dividend, and they're pretty good solid financials. And yeah, there's a lot of price wars always going on with supermarkets, and there's tight margins, but generally speaking they tend to do quite well in the long term. So that's a kind of standard philosophy. It's a very easy one. You know that you're always going to be paying bills, you know you're always going to be needing to buy food. There's a whole bunch of other areas you can probably think of where you have regular payments. Possibly you're, like me, a little bit exasperated as having to pay for certain things where you don't necessarily use an awful lot of service in return. Thinking things like insurance, and there's banking and that kind of stuff. And what's quite nice is you get that extra little extra little smile to yourself if you are invested in some of these companies every time they put their bills up. Yes, it's annoying getting that bigger bill through the post, but you can console yourself knowing that probably your investment is improving as well. You might be getting more back in your dividend. And the end result of this philosophy, sooner or later you end up getting enough money invested in these companies that the dividends they pay out should pay your bills. Eventually they'll pay for themselves. So I'll go into this in a bit more detail in later posts. For the time being, I hope that helps.